Good morning from the small window on your screen. I'm Adam Turtletaub from the Healthcare Compliance Association, and I'm really happy to be joined today by Michael Josephson. Michael's the founder and president of the Josephson Institute of Ethics, an organization that's really been on the forefront of ethics and character. Michael, we're thrilled that you'll be joining us March 31st for the Compliance Institute in San Diego. Can you tell us a bit about what you're going to be talking about during your session there?
Well, I've done a number of these talks, and I think there are three recurring kinds of issues that I think businesses, and particularly the healthcare industry, is facing, and that's what I want to talk about. The first is really just the whole concept of a compliance plus mentality, that you have to have compliance, but in today's atmosphere, you can't just limit it assuming that if it's legal, it's ethical. And especially with the federal sentencing guidelines and the standards for what is an effective ethics program becoming more and more prominent and being used in more and more ways, I think those standards are really critical. And I want to talk about what that really means in terms of attitude and structure. The second thing that I think is real important is to how to really talk about trying to create a sustainable ethical culture in a world that is going to be increasingly more competitive. The competition is going to simply increase in everything, and also dealing with a workforce that, at least by the common surveys, is not necessarily committed to integrity. We have a lot of youth data that shows many people are entering the workforce with a substantial predisposition to cheat, and that's going to make it all the more difficult for companies to really create this kind of culture where people are making ethical decisions, big E ethical decisions. In other words, the real issues of right and wrong as opposed to just the little e ethical issues. And the final thing that I think is important to talk about is to improve effective and ethical decision making. One of the great problems we've seen in organizations is an unwillingness to make decisions, that the risks are too great, or making decisions on too narrow a criteria. And I'm going to introduce them to a concept that we've developed for some public agencies called the best possible result, and talking about how one makes more sophisticated judgments, more sophisticated decisions that produce in the long term the best possible result.
Sounds great. And you touched on something I think is notable in your work, is that you're not just dealing with it with just private enterprise, correct?
Oh, right. We deal with a great many public agencies, and of course there's the public agencies alone, private business alone, and their interface. And that is a tremendous issue, and of course many healthcare companies are constantly interfacing with the government and Medicare and the like, and so we need to approach it from both sides.
And I think it's also notable, you talked about the generation that's coming into the workforce, that you also do a lot of work with schools.
Right. We have over 8 million kids involved in our Character Counts program, but we also have the leading survey of the ethics of American youth we do every 2 years. And it shows that over 20% have stolen something from a store in the last year. It shows that over half have cheated on an exam in the last year. And this understates the real problem, because about 25% said they lied on the survey. The point is that we haven't been doing a very good job with our youth, and today's youth is tomorrow's workforce. And I think businesses have to be prepared to deal with that.
It sounds fascinating. I'm really looking forward to seeing it. Thanks for your time here, and we look forward to seeing you at the 2014 Compliance Institute in San Diego.
I'm ready to go. I'm anxious. Thank you.
All right. See you there.